Good evening, everybody.
Is this recording?
Yes. What's up? What's up? What's up? We want to come to you guys to have a good conversation. Conversations that people have.
Can you tag me?
Have.
It's not showing up.
Have. Okay, just 1 minute, please. That people have where I'm going to share it because I'm going to be able to tag it. I don't think from here. It's already live. Hey, Fire. What's up, Mamacita?
Fire Baldwin. Greetings.
Now, I got to get my phone. I'll be right back. But you can handle it, right?
No, don't move. So, we have a webinar coming up sponsored by International Freedom Academy. Kenda is one of the presenters along with a brother named Dr. Kevin Washington. And this is going to be on November the 18th. And the subject is let's stay together. You know, how to have optimal relationships between Black men and women. So look, we know that there's a lot of quitting going on nowadays. People quitting each other. Remember back in the day, we'd be like, I don't want to go with you no more. I quit. I quit you. You know what I'm saying? We'd be quitting each other. And we know that happens. Sometimes people grow apart, whatever happens. Sometimes it happens. But, we looking at, let's trying to change the tide of things. And why don't we consider let's staying together if we can really work on our relationship and increasing the quality of it. And so that's going to be the topic. But tonight, we want y'all to get involved, and we want you to write some questions, or you can even request to join us. We'll send you the link, and we can have a conversation with you about your relationship and maybe some issues that you and your mate may be having, and we can give you some on-the-spot advice.
Yeah, because here's the thing, guys. One of the main things about staying together is that sometimes we hide from one another how we feel. And sometimes we don't want to ask the tough questions of people that are unbiased. We ask our homegirl, our homeboy that may not be the most critical thinker, because that's your friend. That's your loved one. They're gonna be, oh girl, whatever. I wouldn't take that if I was you. Man, if I was you, boy. And they may have some valid points, but do they really challenge you to ask the questions? Valid points. So do they? And we actually want you guys to ask some questions. I see 3 people watching. Hello. We want you guys to join into the conversation. Anybody that knows me knows I can talk. So if you inbox,
that's a fact. That is a fact.
So if you inbox myself or Simbi, if you are watching it from his page, inbox him, and he will send you the invite to join us on this live. Now,
or you can comment.
Or
right?
Yeah, of course.
And then
of course.
Can we just post the link in the comments?
Yeah.
Will they see this, or will this pop up on Facebook?
Yes. Now, if you guys look into the comments, for some reason it's showing on StreamYard for some reason. Anyway, so if you notice, I just posted a link where you can actually join us live.
I think somebody just commented.
If you got questions or comments, here is the invite right here. You click on it and you'll be in our, what we call the back office. And booyah, You can see it.
The comments are coming on the screen, but they're not coming.
So, well, I have to add them. So that's the link. If you look in the comments, you can click on that and it will bring you into what we call backstage. And we'll get notified and then you can join us. You can come on.
Or if they just have a question in the comments,
Or
post a question.
right. Or if
I think somebody
or
that's not coming up.
or if you have a question, of course, you can
What's the subtitles?
you can join us. Now, one of the major things that I know we find that we have to work on a daily basis is what? Communication. Communication. Like even just 5 minutes ago, we were having a communication glitch. No fault of mine.
You were having a glitch. I understood clearly what was going on.
No.
Let me put my magical thinking cap on.
Oh my God. Come on, y'all. I need some help. Y'all see the link. It's in the comments on both YouTube and on Facebook. Click that link and join it. Even if you just want to say hi, because I'm gonna need some help. Because I told you right now. So
that's why I wanted to do it on my computer. Because I'd have had it on, several YouTube pages that I was going to click.
Right, I understand. So, okay, case in point, we had a plan to do this live, right? So, communication. There was a goal. He set the goal. He called me today, hey, babe, would you like to go on live and talk about some subjects with relationship? I said, yeah, sure. What we going to talk about? I don't know, but I'll tell you when I get home. Cool. So we got home, and now, to be fair, I was multitasking when he called me, and I was multitasking when he came home. So I interpreted what he said as create the broadcast. And I said, okay, fine. I'll create it. I created it. And then when it came time, there was another part of what he wanted to do that I was not clear of. It's 2 points. And I was also dealing with another communication challenge, if you will, with someone else. So I was already kind of in a state of, am I not understanding what other people are saying? And am I not communicating what I need and what needs to be done? I know you are ready to jump in. I'm almost
No,
done.
I'm about to ask you, were you already frustrated?
So right. So yeah, I'm getting there, Daddy. Got that nice hat on, so But anyway, so I was in a space of frustration already. So my energy was already like, ooh, my bandwidth was stretched. So we get ready to start. Why aren't we doing it on this page? Well, I thought you said this. Da, 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 da. So what happened? Why do you think we got to that place?
Well, I think because your mind was already clouded with the previous communication situation, and your patience was very short, and you weren't really that clear on what I was saying. And I noticed that you weren't breathing properly, deeply and fully. You had shallow breaths. I could hear you breathing while we was talking. And when you came up earlier and vented, I heard the way you were breathing while you were venting. You was all up in the chest breathing. And that denotes a certain mind state. That you're not really in the clear mind state, because when you're breathing too shallow and too fast, the emotions are triggered. And so you're not listening or processing things as clearly, and so you were, when our situation happened, you were short patient and not really understanding what I was saying. I was saying something that I thought was very simple, but you complicated it.
Proclivity mirror. Oh my God. Look. But anyway, it's another story.
No, but
that's that. But
we ain't gonna
that
get into the other situation. But
yeah,
explain that proclivity without explaining the situation.
The energy of misunderstanding something that appears simple from one person may come across complicated to the other person. And then I created that same situation with my husband, even though I would lend to the notion that you were not specifically clear of the way that you wanted the broadcast to go. So we were both kind of operating from our points of view without clarifying what was needed or what should have been done.
I didn't have no quote unquote way that I wanted to go. I just wanted to do it on my laptop instead of yours. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand why that was so complicated.
Well, no,
but anyway.
No, we have to kind of, because these are the simple little nuances that can happen one too many times. And then it's like, you know what? You don't listen to me. You don't understand nothing I say. I'm sick and tired of trying to explain to you, and you don't get it. Well, you don't listen to me. So one of the things to me was that I could have asked specifically, how do you want this to happen? That's number one. And to me, because again, my point of view was I created the broadcast like you wanted, but I did not know that you wanted to put it on other platforms, which my account is not connected to, which is fine.
We don't have to bore them with those details.
No, but what I'm saying, but I'm just
no. What I'm saying is, what threw the conversation off was the mindset and the energy state you were in, of not being able to understand what I was saying, you being short patient. And I'm not blaming you, but I'm talking about the dynamic of what happened. So it's not about the details of, this and that, but it's about the mind state. So what we teach and share with people is the importance of the law of mental and emotional disposition. What is your disposition when you're dealing with a particular subject and topic? Are you triggered? Are you in the ego? Are you coming from the lower self or the animal part of your being? Or are you clear and coming from the higher part of your being with clarity? If you are already in an emotional state, and it's a heightened emotional state or frustration going into a topic, it's going to tend to be more difficult, or it's going to influence the outcome, or at least the experience of that particular topic, of the situation. So I think that's the jewel. When you were venting earlier, I noticed you wasn't breathing, but I didn't want to interrupt your vent because that's the nature of the vent, get that animal out, let the ego express it, let the ego express itself. But I wanted to tell you to take a deep breath, because while I was listening to you vent, what was I doing?
You were listening without.
What was I doing when you came up?
Oh, you were meditating.
I was meditating, but now I kept meditating. And so I was extra aware because I was breathing slowly. So I could hear how you were breathing and how that was interfering with the way that you felt. So this is very important when it comes to us interacting with people, with couples interacting with each other. How many exchanges, if we can count on our hands or count within 1 week or even within 1 month, how many exchanges do we have where our emotions are triggered?
Well, yeah, that's true.
As opposed to, like, in comparison to the exchanges when our energy is settled, have clarity, and we're in that heart space. And so look, we're gonna take a moment. Lovely Lolo, that's a nice name. How you doing? We're gonna take a moment to remind y'all that on November 18th, International Freedom Academy, which is a organization that I'm working with, and my wife has, graced us with the opportunity to have her as a presenter on November 18th.
I'm honored.
Yeah, we're having a webinar called Let's Stay Together. And it's about men and women in our relationships, particularly Black men and Black women in our relationships. How can we optimize our relationships and stay together instead of separating, And so on November 18th at 7, the link is in the chat. You can click that link, go to the Eventbrite and buy a ticket. We're going to have Kenda Bell speaking, and we're going to have Dr. Kevin Washington, and he is a professor in psychology at can we pull up the flyer? Can we share the flyer on the screen?
Yes, we sure
I can't remember the university.
Grambling
University. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, we're going to have, we're going to deal with, some of these topics. What are the things that make us break apart or influence us to break apart as couples? And what are the very things that pull us together? Is it, how do we grow together as opposed to growing apart? People grow apart every day, and look, it's not the end of the world if you grow apart, but then how do you transition your relationships, the way that you're interacting now as a couple, if that changes
in a healthy
transition, how do you do that in a healthy way?
All right, we're going to do a commercial break.
Walk, keep on walking straight to the hell we made. Why always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer? Don't tell a million lies, kill the butterflies. I just wanna make things right. Walk, keep us on the road, try to find what we had before.
All right, we're back. We had to do that little cue.
Yeah, thank you for that commercial break. Look, we want to give y'all some on-the-spot sacred opportunities, wisdom.
Come on, y'all.
So,
give some comments.
Ask a question. If you want to request to come live and speak to us, for those brave souls who you're not afraid to talk about some challenges you may be having in your relationships,
or something that has worked for you too.
Yeah,
definitely. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
What are some things that kept you together and that keep you together?
Yeah, I think one of the main things is a lot of people is respect. Like how one person deems respect can be different.
What's the name of your YouTube page, babe? The one that this is on?
KendaBell.com. I'm KendaBell on YouTube. So one of the things is like, how do we just talked about communication. How thoroughly do you share what you need? Do you presume that the person should know? Then, as you start sharing what you need, how does the person respond? What are you looking for to know that the person understands what you're talking about? And it doesn't have to be all tight and uncomfortable to have conversations about what you need. And I think that's one of the things that people are really afraid of, is that if I share or I want to do something, then the person may get upset with me or also do what I need for them to do. Is it a want? You want them to respond in a certain way, or do you want an authentic expression? And sometimes, let me see. Talim says, can you think you can effectively multitask while somebody is speaking? Can you focus on all the things you are tasking equally? Do you think I can effectively multitask while somebody is speaking? I actually just was, actually. And I think I came on track. I'm not quite sure.
I think he's referring to earlier when you said, you know, when I came home, you were multitasking. Well, you were multitasking when I presented you with the idea of doing a live tonight. And then when I came home, you were still multitasking. Could you give full attention to what your man is saying while you're multitasking, or will your attention be spread and split into different places to where you may not really comprehend?
Halim, if you want, join us. Do I have to still have, where's the link? It's
yeah, the link is in the chat if you can find it, or just post it again.
So, but so the question, it can be difficult at times. But the thing is that number one, I should have been authentic to say, wait a minute, I'm doing something. Let me make sure I understand what you are saying. So the person that is talking, as well as the person listening, both have to have a sense of responsibility. If I'm going to engage him when I'm doing something else, I need to be authentic in saying, okay, I heard you, but let me make sure that what you're saying I understand, because we clearly had, he spoke, I heard, but I interpreted it in a way that was not what he had in mind. Now, with that being said, what he had in mind was not clearly expressed. So we could have taken either side to ask for the specifics or explain them.
I appreciate what has been said. Just want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Boom, that right there. If someone says something to you, it's good to say that and then repeat what they said and repeat your understanding of what they said. Okay, that way you can make sure you're understanding and they make sure that their message was sent to you properly. And if not, they get to fix it. I got that from one of our great esteemed elders, Baba Adimola. Shout out. You know, he always says that. He always does that. And that's a very good, you know, strategy or technique to have clear communications.
I know y'all not scared. I know it's called people watching. I know y'all are looking cute.
Lovely Lolo made a comment.
Yeah. Lolo, you want to come on? I want you to come on. I got it. It's already posted. So make sure that you come on. We want people to come on and talk. So whoever's giving us our hearts and watching us, we would love for you guys to talk to us.
Lovely Lolo said, the art of multitasking is being able to give several things attention at the same time. But really, does the mind really work that way?
Well, yes and no. I think that.
Does it optimally work that way where it can give equal attention to several things at the same time, or is something going to get more emphasis than something else at any given moment?
If you're planning and you're scheduling the multitasking, then yes. But if you already have a set of tasks that you have organized to do, and then something else comes in that's not a part of what you had planned, then it can be difficult. You might miss something. And that's again asking, it's like, okay, cool. Let's be clear. Okay. We got our first live.
Ali made one to not take a challenge.
Yeah, well,
Scared.
man. Yeah, she talking about we scared,
Yeah. What's up, Haleen?
You know how I do it, man. How you be? You looking strong, big man. You looking strong.
I got my thinking cap on right now.
Yeah. It matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's move like that.
Yeah. So my thing is like, I get the multitasking is one of the things that women do. But to say that, like guys, we accomplish things, we're center focus, we just do. And women, have that broad mindset, they can multitask and this, that, and the other. But I think that there are times, and I'm not a woman, so I can't say for sure, that it would be more beneficial to put down the multitask and just focus on one thing. And so, like, if your man calls you with something that is important to him, I think that is disrespectful, to start multitasking and put your attention on what he's saying. That way, you wouldn't be so apt to misinterpret what was being said. That's just a thought. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
I mean, I don't think you're right or wrong.
You just try to start trouble. You see me sit up here.
No, I mean, no, it's a skill. Like lovely Lolo said, yes, the mind does work that way. Will something suffer? Maybe, but it's a skill that has to be developed. I mean, yeah. I mean, when we're driving a car, we have to pay attention to several things at once. Meaning, but you can't really. I'm talking about precisely in the moment. The moment that I'm looking in the rearview mirror, I'm not looking at what's going on in front of me. So I just got to look real quick and then get my eyes back on the road. You see, but you're aware of what's going on around you, even in your peripheral.
Correct.
Your attention is really on what's in front of you mostly, but you're still aware of the things going on around you.
Right.
And you may have to change your focus instantly. When you change your lanes, boom, real quick, and then back to the front. You can't. While you're looking out your blind side, you can't see what's in front of you. Until you turn back. And so I think that maybe I'm being extra literal with it, but we're talking about equal attention. Like if I'm preoccupied with doing something on the computer and my wife wants to tell me a story, I can listen, but I might not hear everything. If I'm really going to give it quality attention, what I'm paying attention to on the computer is going to suffer, or vice versa.
But I'm saying, so now we coming from a masculine point of view, and
right,
and
like
the way that we function.
I have seen this woman do some amazing things. Like she is maybe playing a game and having a conversation at the same time that we're watching a movie, and she talking. I'm not hearing what the movie's saying because she's talking, and then she tells me what I missed while she was talking. I'm like, how did you even hear that? You was talking and playing the game. I want to focus on the movie. I don't want to be doing all this talking because I'm going to miss some important dialogue. So that's pretty amazing to me. So maybe that is the multitasking mindset that women have. That.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that in this particular, go ahead, I'm listening.
I'm sorry. I wanted to respond if it's possible. Can the woman speak?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I give this man attention and energy on a regular basis.
Oh, most
So
most definitely.
it's very rare that I don't hear what is being asked of. So a woman or a man, so this is a partnership. This is 2021. So each person has the responsibility to listen clearly and also to speak and share clearly what they need. And so when, like I shared, I heard a certain thing, a task to do, create something. So my main thing is create something. Now, I could have asked, how do you want it done or whatever? Or he as well on the other side could have been more clear about the directive that he was actually sharing. So I think that miscommunication can be a little bit on both sides. And like he shared, I was already feeling confused, like, okay, what am I not doing? This didn't happen in a certain way because I'm multitasking all day doing different things. So, and the person that is speaking or asking something should keep in mind as well what the other person may be doing at that moment. So it's not really what the man should do or the woman should do. It's more about the giver or the speaker. Am I giving them enough information? And for the listener or the receiver, am I getting enough of what I feel that I need to understand what has been asked of me? So it goes both ways, in my opinion,
Right.
regarding gender.
Okay, so let me shift a little bit. Communication that we had earlier today about the computer thing,
Yes.
and you communicated to me, and this is something that I'm not really apt at. So I had to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the questions, and you gave me the answers. And I asked further questions. You gave me the answer. We kept back and forth until it was resolved.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the point that I'm making is, in terms of the speaker and the receiver, is that, like if I'm, into my ego, because the computer thing is something that I feel as a man I should already know, but the truth of the reality I don't know. And if I'm into my ego, I'm not going to be asking you questions about it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to drop my ego and get, receptive and allow you to give me what I need. And taking it back to the further the earlier conversation, I'm not quite sure that was done. You said that he asked you to create something. Simba, did you ask her to create something, or did you? I didn't hear that.
Right. I don't even remember asking her to create something. I remember her volunteering to set up to tell people on Facebook that we're going to be going live. She volunteered. I didn't even ask her. Now it has turned into I need to be more clear when I ask her and when I get her to do something. I didn't even ask her to do that. She volunteered, and I said, okay.
No, I asked you.
But that's not even the issue. The issue is when we went to go live, I wanted to do it on my computer instead of hers, and because she was already in a disheveled state.
Disheveled?
I don't know. Is that a bad word or something? You were emotional. You were frustrated about something, and so you was filtering what I was saying through that, and then it was just got overly complicated. That's the energetic and mental disposition when we go in. And so the point is, when we are couples, we have to be mindful of the energy in our energy discussing certain things, because that can improve the actual process of communication and even the outcome.
True. That's true. However, when I said that, okay, I have no problem, that sounds good. You want me to create the StreamYard? That would have been a good time then, or when you came home, to say, I want you to do it through a specific way. So that I could have been, okay, but then because you want to do it that particular way, then I can't schedule it.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I thought, you could just go through my computer and it'd be no big deal.
Right, communication.
But on a lighter note, this type of discussion is very needed because a lot of times, we go away from the discussion and into our own mind and start conjuring up all kinds of thoughts and ideas and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And if the communication, or if we're not open to communicate what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and don't allow our egos to get in the way,
Mm-hmm.
that's our relationships end real quick. So what y'all doing now is an extender of y'all relationship. Y'all making it clear.
Yeah, I mean, we literally had our talking points fleshed out in 5 minutes because I'm doing something. I'm adding something. We had something to do. We had a subject matter, a real life scenario to bring that was fresh, about simple thing that we could have went left. So I'm posting a link on Facebook, and as well as join us in the discussion, because we want some more folks to jump on. We can have up to 10 people, I believe, on the live at the same time. I know y'all not scared. Helene ain't never scared.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I just overcome my fear.
I don't think so. But what's another thing that you think would help people to be able to stay together?
To me, it's the way that we perceive each other prior to getting into relationships. And like a lot of times, it's culturally based. The negative views that we get one from the other. Men have negative, or the focus of the cultural language is negative outlook on the feminine, and the feminine do the same with regards to the way that they view the masculine, and a lot of time it's subconscious, running in the back of our mind, and over time that language catches up, because we put our facade on, we put our best face on in the beginning. Yeah, and as things go along, what is really back there starts to come forward. So I think that we have to do some inner work to correct the way that first we perceive ourselves, because we all kind of crazy stuff. We're sinners, we're low life, we're lazy, all kind of negative things are said about us, and oftentimes we internalize it, we believe it, even though we our facade says differently. Somewhere in the back of our minds, we believe these things. And so first, having a good self-image of who we are, essentially, and then looking at our mates from the betterment side of our beings.
That's a good point. Hold that thought real quick. We're going to do a quick commercial break.
Keep on walking straight to the hell we made. Why always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer? Don't tell
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so IFA, International Freedom Academy, we got November 18th webinar. It's
Hey,
titled Let's Stay Together. Shout out to Baba Olamina, he in the house.
join us,
He's a
brother.
part of International Freedom Academy as well. But we have some guest speakers. One of them is Dr. Kevin Washington, a professor of psychology from Grambling University. And another one is Kendra Bell,
That's right.
life coach, healer, best-selling author, among
Uh-oh.
This is
other
best
things.
selling.
Essence best-selling author. And so, you know, we want to have a masculine, feminine balance on the webinar. And so, you know, y'all, I want y'all to put the link in the chat, you know, sign up so you can be a part of it. November 18th, that's on a Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Yes, the mind versus
Yeah, so what's it? No, that's earlier. It's this one. Yeah. Learning how to love the person you're with, their love language.
Yeah, so you said something very real, Helene, like about number one, you to me gave two important points. It's number one, we perceive the other person sometimes based upon our own like experiences or the society's language. And then as a result of that, we put up a persona or we, like I said, the representative to show up. And then when you're like hitting that 6 month mark, those 2 months, I'm not six, well, it could be 6 months. Some people they might be good, but they can hold together for half a year. But for most people, the breaking part starts to be at about the 2 month mark, where to start whatever the representative can't hold if you smoke particularly, or you got a potty mouth, or you got a short temper, or you're not really a telephone person, but you was doing it for the first couple of months because you wanted to get to know her. But now it's like, all right, I know her, I like her, I don't need to talk to her all the time. And that's not just men, but some women too. They get to look. I got work to do. You know, we played chess for a couple of months, but I ain't trying to lose my job to be cupcaking with you. So are we afraid to be honest about that from the jump to say, look, no, but some people are though. Some people will say, yeah, you know, we're spending time on this now, but my work keeps getting busy or whatever, it ain't gonna always be this way. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but see, in the beginning of a relationship, there's really no way to school your whole self, even if you want to, you know, because there's you know, you have, you know, sometimes for life to just trigger certain results, certain expressions, certain reactions from you. And then, you know, your new mate gets to observe you in certain scenarios and situations.
Mhm.
So that takes a little bit of time, you know, at least a little bit of time. So I don't think people or everybody doesn't purposely, you know, put on the front. I think it just happens, you know, you want to put on your best, put on your best self. Just like if you're going to a job interview or some type of event, you know, with you know, in public, you know. But you know, the person that you're with is just going to be around you more to see you in different.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try to explain
Who's there?
a little better of what I'm pointing to. Like, okay, so I'm 66 years old. I've been married. Always worked. Kept the bills paid. You know, I raised 2 children. I've done the things that men do, but my sister continues to call me a boy.
About
That's
your
something.
sister?
I'm sorry.
Your biological?
Yeah, my biological sisters, you know, I mean, it just comes out, boy, this, boy, 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 boy. I'm like, you know, do you think at some point you can call me a man? It's really annoying. I'm telling this is what I'm telling her. It's annoying for me to hear my older sister continuously call me a boy when you know
Mhm.
the things that I've done, the things that I've accomplished, the things that I've overcome. You know, I'm every definition of a man. You know, why you continue to see me as a boy? Because it's something that's ingrained into her mind, and she just can't get over it. She don't mean no harm by it. It's just what it is. And what I'm saying is a lot of times when we get into relationships, the inside of our brain, whatever that dialogue that's going on inside of our brain begins to come forth, and sometimes it's not representative of the higher nature. So working on the inner self and getting ourselves as an evolved being so that we can have an evolved expression, I think that's critical for relationships.
Yeah, that connects with the idea of people growing together as opposed to growing apart. Like she would have to adjust her perception. She knew you probably, you know, since you were born or whatever, and y'all grew up together, and you was boy, you was the little boy, and she always see you as the little brother, and it's an affectionate type of thing. But then at the same time, you grew. Because I know like the way the mind works is like when I have like relatives. Let's say I got a little cousin that I ain't seen in 15 years. The last time I seen them, they were like a little child. And then when I see them again, they're an old man, and I'm surprised. Like, why am I surprised? That was 15 years ago, you know, because my mind is taking a picture of the last time I seen them. I'm still seeing them in that light. So I gotta, you know, now see them in a different light from who they are now.
Yeah.
And I think for effective and harmonious relationships, we have to will ourselves to make that new adjustment to how someone has grown, you know, the new ways that they are now, and you know, I guess the type of relationship we want to have as a result.
Okay, so now dealing with my mind, my brain, and the things that I have to like, you know, work to overcome. Perception of woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm my perception coming up is, you know, all she wants is money. You know, if I can't provide money, I'm no use to her. You know, sexuality, I have to be, you know, this potent individual. I mean, it's just a lot of things that is you call um, it creates a lot of stress to
Mm-hmm.
try to be everything that, you know, the or the perception that I have of what the woman needs of me. I can't relax that and just be me. I have to try to fulfill what that is that's in my mind of what
Mm-hmm.
she needs. And the result of that can be, you know, a lot of tension, anxiety, frustration, which disallows me to become the man that I'm capable of becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Do you meditate?
Yeah, I meditate from time to time. You know, I do. You know, I listen to you talk about the level of breath and the way that we breathe. Now, I do breathing exercises sometimes, but there are times when I do catch myself doing shallow breathing.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked you if you meditate or not, because meditation is the opportunity for us to examine the contents of our consciousness. And by, you know, just observing the stream of thoughts that come up, the impulses and things, and your own internal patterns. And when we meditate more, then in real life we're able to, catch more of the root of a particular, patternistic way of thinking that we may have. Like, is it the woman's fault that you think you have to perform a certain way in order for you, to get her approval and for you not to be anxious and have that anxiety? Is that really her fault? And I'll say no, it's not, and that's our work, inner work that we have to do. That any way of thinking that is not serving us optimally, we got to examine that and replace that with something that's, more functional for our purposes, and then just, see how that woman is supporting your growth, even with her presence. But ultimately,
And I would like to share that if you feel that the woman is putting a lot of pressure on you to be a certain way, I would challenge you to examine if there's a part of her that feels that she needs to be more. And
Mhm.
and by quote unquote pointing out what you don't have is reflecting what she feels that she does not have. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do understand it. I understand it. And the reason why I put it both ways, one, I use the example of my sister, but that's just, to say that the woman has things in her brain that's functioning to tell her certain ways to treat and act towards the masculine. And I use my own example as to say, some of the things that's in the man's mind, as how he operates and functions, and sometimes mistreat himself and mistreat her, because of thoughts of past happenings and cultural influences. So it's inner work that both the man and the woman has to do in order to create this bond we call unity.
And as far as your sister, if she keeps calling you boy, ignore her because the boy, who she's the boy, there's no boy in here.
Hmm.
yeah, you gotta train her how to communicate with you.
Like boy, get in here. Boy, don't get in there. Boy, answer the phone. Don't answer the phone. Boy, do you hear? Because
I would just look at her. She's like, why you looking at her like that? I'm trying to figure out where the boy at you talking to. You talk to a ghost? You know,
because I promise you, she'll get tired and say, Helene,
Hmm.
Helene, I know you hear me. Oh, you were talking to me. Okay. All right, I got you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there's a part of you that maybe having some challenges with being called that and letting that go to her. You don't have to prove nothing for her not to call you
Hmm. Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
so look, we've been on here for about an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely appreciate you
Yes.
joining us. You offered a great contribution, some good insight.
That's right. You sure did. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Hey, Colleen,
Yeah.
you want to just give your new website a shout out,
Oh, yeah.
your program real quick?
Oh boy. I didn't really come on
You
expecting
gotta
that.
always be ready, stay ready.
Yeah, well, I have a program. It's about men's health, and I'll say that one of the things that the great Dr. John Chazelle presented to me when he was alive was that a man's, I'll say, the quality of his erection is an indication of his internal health.
Hmm.
So, I created a course, Men's Health, a journey towards sensual healing. And you can go to positivemanhood.com and take a look at the phenomenal objectives that we have in this particular course. And one of the things that we say is that if you take the course and you put the full effort into it, you're gonna come out a better man. Positivemanhood.com, and Simbi, we're gonna talk. All right.
Yes, sir. I definitely checked out the website. There's some dynamic things on there. It's a powerful program, so definitely, men, take advantage of it.
I like that name too, Helene.
Yeah, appreciate.
To the point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Peace and love.
All right. Peace. All right. So we still on?
Yeah, we still on.
All right. So we need to close out with the commercial.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching. We are going to start doing more of these leading up to the webinar, and as well as just doing them more in general. So we're going to close out. Thank you for watching, and we're going to play the video. Make sure that you join us 2 Thursdays from now at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
November 18th.
November the 18th.
Walk, keep on walking straight.